Hello, I'm Toycat and Merry Christmas. It is the 25th of December as I upload this, and that is what most people celebrate as Christmas in many parts of the world, but maybe you personally, either you don't celebrate Christmas or you do celebrate Christmas, but it's not a big deal, or maybe it is a big deal, but you just want to have something to watch on on YouTube on that day, because a lot of YouTubers literally don't upload on Christmas saying, let's take this time off, and that's a fine thing to think, but personally, I think, I would love to put out some content for anyone who wants to watch some Toycat and the usual, like, oh yeah, here's some fun facts about Minecraft, combined with, oh yeah, it's the Toycat podcast for roughly half an hour. I figured why not combine all those things into one fun place in case that's what you want on your Christmas. So here's my Christmas gift, or at least I hope it's a Christmas gift from me to all of you, which I hope you do all enjoy. So today we'll be doing a few different things. The first one is working even more on destroying this area right here, making it just more flat so we have like an area for our horses to grow and breed on, etc. Then we're going to be using the dirt we get from this because, half it's about flattening the area, half it's about getting some free dirt to take elsewhere to work on the bamboo farm a little bit more. And then we'll be doing some stuff with the desert, because my desert has been, I missed something out to do something earlier. I need to get more sand, basically. So we're getting a little bit of sand from the desert, just some usual Toycat podcast and chill stuff, because, again, like, if we have, like, less strenuous stuff to the gameplay, then we talk about the more important stuff in the commentary style thing. So, the obvious topic, the first thing on on most people's minds at least, is going to be like Christmas. So, like, hey there, what's the deal with Christmas? Like, do you not care about it? And honestly, I do care about Christmas. I think it is a really cool event, but I also, I really don't like the idea, like, that everything should, like, shut down for it or whatever, because, I understand that, like, there are some benefits to that, like, that means that some people, if everyone shuts down, then it means that it's better for everyone, but it's also on the same hand, like, but I mean, I enjoy a lot of services that require other people, like, there's kind of like a balance of everything, like, we can share it, and in that same way, it's like, if you want to watch a YouTube video today, most channels aren't going to have anything. They might have a recap video, they might have, like, a, tiny vlog or an explanation, like, Happy Christmas, but most people won't do, like, their full fat, like, takes half an hour of content, and that's why I wanted to do this today, just to be different. Maybe it's going to be worthless, maybe literally 16 people view this, but for you 16 people, yeah, it's Christmas, and this is my kind of thing. And it's the weirdest crusade to have, I know, like, it's, of all the things to care about, you figure, like, no, this is the sort of thing where, like, everyone can get on board with it, but I think people who want to watch, some YouTube on Christmas, like, that's arguably the most important time. Being, when it comes to YouTube, I've always seen it as, like, a reciprocal relationship. I don't think it needs to be that way. I think YouTubers and YouTube audiences, like, we can both collectively decide what YouTube is to both of us, but I've always seen it as, like, this, this reciprocal agreement. Like, oh yeah, on the one hand, I agree, I think that, like, if you give me loyalty and me, if you, watch the videos, which is what makes me successful and, able to actually not starve and to do this as my full-time thing, in exchange, when you're there for me when I need you, I try to be there for you when you need me. And a lot of, YouTube fans get this one, like, kind of mixed up as, like, oh, so you'll do anything I want all the time? I made you, man. I made you. Like, this happens to music artists and movie stars and all that sort of stuff, too. It's like, no one knows anything specifically to you, the individual. You are one part, every YouTube ad is worth literally a tenth of a penny. It takes tens of thousands of people to get anywhere big. That's not a good message most YouTubers say, because, like, if you make merch sales or something like that, every one sale is important by itself, yeah. But I mean, like, the truth is that, like, trying to say everyone's important, it's a good message, and it's true in life, and it's true in that, like, every little helps, but it's not true in the sense that, like, oh yes, so I owe you an hour of my day to sit down with you and to, give you a conversation about why you're the best, and, maybe we can play some Minecraft together for 3 hours, make a new world or whatever. It's like, that's not what anyone is individually owed, but also as a collective, I think you do owe some amount to the giant collective, and, again, the same is trying to vice versa true. Like, you don't need to give me all of your life savings. You have a piggy bank somewhere, I'm assuming, like, I never had a pig bank when I was younger, but you have a pig bank somewhere, don't raid it to give all the money to me. That's fine with me. I don't expect every part of your attention, every part of your, anything that you can give me, but at the same time, by supporting the videos, by watching them whenever they come out, or by liking them. A lot of people go a step further, they'll share them via Twitter, via the like function, or, just even, like, talking about it, like, doing some of the cool stuff for friends, like, anything that helps the channel in some way, that's something I like. And the kind of reciprocal agreement I've always worked out is like, yeah, you were there for me when I needed you, and I want to try and be there as best I can when you need me. And maybe if you need me this Christmas, or you just kind of want to watch a YouTube video, which is, kind of like what a lot of people see as their need, then that's why I'm here to stay. That might be way too much explanation for some people, like, oh yeah, so, that was over-explained, so I can't. But it is something I really do try my best to do it, because YouTube is this interesting platform where you can kind of set your own guidelines. Like I said, on YouTube, you can define what it means to be a creator, or you can define what it means to be pretty much anything on the platform. Like, some YouTubers, have it so that their audiences hate them. So many YouTubers get trolled, trolled by their audiences, or, like, they're hated by their audiences, and that's what they love, because that's something they know that can really reliably do. Some YouTubers, insist that their subscribers call them a certain thing, like, hey, we're the something gang, the cool gang. I think I made a joke in a Q&A Saturday once. We're the cool gang. We always refer to each other as the coolists, and you have to put in your Twitter bio that you're part of the cool gang, or you're not part of the cool gang. I'm just saying, you want to not be part of the cool gang? That's where all the cool people are at. And I've never really liked either approach personally. Again, but that's the cool thing about YouTube. Anyone can kind of define it. Honestly, that's the cool thing about being anything, I would say an adult, but like a functional human being, whether that happens at 13, 14, 16, 18, 21, 25, pick your age. But once you become a real human being, as opposed to just someone else's, like, pet human, because honestly, okay, offensive opinion with Toy Cat time, I think that having kids, for some people, is like having a pet human. It's like, oh yeah, there's this thing that I can control and will vaguely follow me around, I guess, and I'm going to use it to make it do tricks and things that I like. I'm going to control every aspect of it, because it's my pet human. It'll do what I like, and therefore you don't really have much freedom. And, oh my god, my Alicia didn't work there. Oh, okay, weird. Glad I didn't die, but at the same time, kind of scary. But, so basically some people treat it like a pet human. So if you're someone else's pet human, or even if you're not, but, like, you're in the stage where, like, you don't have entire autonomy, then, yeah, you are kind of, like, you can't define your relationships with, say, I don't know, your parents or something like that. But when you are a fully grown adult, or you are a fully grown person of age of autonomy, I think is a good way to put that one. But at that age, you do get to define, like, actually, what I would like from a friendship is this. Some people are friends where they don't know each other. They're just like, oh yeah, I want to watch a movie sometimes, and it'd be cool to talk about it for 10 minutes afterwards. That's fine. Like, the fact that you can kind of define any friendship, any relationship you want, how it is, as long as both parties agree, that's generally how the world works. Yeah, I have friends. I have a friend. You might know him. He's my plumber. So, he's not a very good plumber. No offense, Jeff. But I mean, my bathroom's still screwed, Jeff. Still a little bit angry about that. But he's a bad friend on, like, the objective levels. But, like when it comes to, are these different lengths? They're not. It looked like they were. But, although he might be a friend on, like, some objective level, the truth is like, when it comes to, like, a variety of different things, like, he likes to travel to various parts of the country too. He likes to do this, that. He's there, and he's ready, and he's like, being friendly about it. He's like, I messed up, I wasn't there, so I'm gonna pay for, this, that. He's a very generous person, and that's a cool thing. You can set up a friendship that way. Everyone, especially, I think, especially when you're in school or whatever, there's like a defined thing of like, this is what a friend is, You want to have a best friend, and then you want to have a small circle of close friends, and then a circle of, like, outer friends, and then you want everyone else to consider that they like you. But the truth is, I mean, it's, like, kind of a bit more complex than that. I was actually discussing this with a friend literally yesterday of, like, it's kind of funny that, like, especially when you're in school, there is, like, a weird hierarchy system to most things, and that's where, like, most mistakes come from and are made. And one of the debates that I kind of got into, maybe you can join this one if you'd like to, again, because I feel like our subscribey basis has been defined on, like, hey, I don't want to be a normal YouTuber to all of you, and hopefully, this isn't the normal YouTube relationship. But, so we were debating, it's like, guys, the way, being a dude in school, it's like this really messy system. I never personally liked it too much, because it was based on, like, entirely arbitrary stuff, but it's like, and, like, if you fought a dude, you'd go up, and if you, there's a bunch of just acts of, like, things that make you go up and down, and, like, the weird system, and we're arguing, like, are girls any better, or is it worse with girls? Because, like, everyone pretends to be friends with everyone as a girl, right? That's my understanding. I could be wrong, wildly wrong, in fact. But, it was just an interesting thing. So, if you have an opinion on that, let me know. Is the hierarchy system better with girls, worse with girls, or do you think it's better with guys? You can probably not leave that in the comment down below, but give it a good think, and maybe tell me if you have a strong thought to add in it. But yeah, going back to my previous point, I've always liked that, I always like the concept of, like, defining what any relationship is to yourself, because, I mean, the truth is that everyone has different needs, wants, etc. Like, having, like, a base, it's kind of like a template, right? Like, there's a template for what a friend should be. You know how you can get a template CV? It's like, oh, here's a list of what should go on there? You can deviate from that if you have a good idea how to deviate, but it's a good basis to build on. And I feel like that's what we kind of do with our subscriptions here. Like, I want to have a subscription, I want to have, like, a system where, like, hopefully you like something about me or what I do on this channel or the videos or something. And, you know, I know usually that there's something I'll like about you because there's almost like a mindset that comes involved with, like, the sort of videos we make here. So, you know, hopefully there's something I like about you in return. And hopefully, you know, again, there's a lot of hopefullys on this one, but then hopefully in response to that one, there's gonna be like a, also, is this correctly lined up? It doesn't look like this, but you know, and then hopefully there's gonna be something that magically comes from that. I don't know, like maybe I've gone too far into something that doesn't make sense, but I think it's cool, and I want to just say thank you for allowing that to be a thing. And apparently our relationship can include Christmas, and isn't that nice? Is my point. Whereas a lot of YouTubers, you know, maybe it's like the whole like social bubble thing. Maybe they just don't know what they're doing and they feel like they have to. They're like, oh yeah, so if another YouTuber does something, a bigger one than me, I have to follow that 100% of the time. That's just clearly what has been defined as what a YouTuber does. You know, there's so many examples of this. Some are good, like, oh yeah, so I guess YouTubers do charity drives now. I'm gonna do one of those too. That's good if you believe that. Like, honestly, there's a lot of lies out there in the world that it's okay if people believe certain lies. Like, you know the lie that a police officer has to tell you if he's undercover. That's one of the worst lies in the world. But I mean, if it gets criminals to admit to their crimes because they think someone's not a police officer, sure, I guess. You know, like it's fine to me if people, you know, there are certain lies out there that actually do some more good than harm. But I also think at the same time, there's kind of a mix-up there. So, you know, I think we've spoken far too long about this one. Let's, rather than getting people being like, you know, you spoke about basically the same concept for 11 minutes, how about we get some controversy rolling in here? Because you know what Christmas Day is good for? It's good for a bit of controversy. Maybe, you know, maybe your mother likes to drink too much and it's a problem. Maybe this, that. Who knows for sure? But, you know, here's your toy cat version. Because I think, okay, so Jehovah's Witnesses, to talk about them is to cause controversy. It's literally one of the most divisive issues, is like, good, bad, comes down to, were you indoctrinated into, again, the mix of a cult and a religion. It's not a cult, it's not a religion, it's kind of a mix of the two. They're banned in a lot of countries because they are, you know, like, they're not, it's one of those weird things. But again, if you're a Jehovah's, I'm not saying it's good or bad, it's fine. Like, there's good aspects of the whole thing. However, most people, a lot of people don't like the whole thing because of how restrictive they are and how much they advertise, because you need to advertise your religion to get into heaven. It's a weird system. Like, let's not focus on the details too much. But one of the things that I found interesting is that the reason they don't celebrate Christmas, because you don't get birthdays or Christmas if you're a Jehovah's Witness. There's no holidays you get to celebrate. Because I have a Jehovah's in my family, by the way. Fun fact. So, you know, this comes from the heart. I also, Jeff, oh, my literal plumber, he used to be a Jehovah's Witness because one day some people knocked on his door and he just, like, I don't know anyone who was converted that way, but he did. And then he did it, like, he did the knocking himself for a while. But yeah, so, interesting thing is they actually don't celebrate Christmas, and their reasoning's actually pretty solid, like, because here's the deal with Christmas. You might think it's a big religious event in some way, but I mean, one, people don't really celebrate it that way. Even cultures that don't, celebrate an entirely different religion, like, in Japan, Christmas is huge. They get KFC on Christmas. It's a whole wild thing. You know, not related to religion. So, yeah, the logic behind Jehovah's not having Christmas, despite being basically a sect of Christianity, but kind of not at the same time, their logic is like, well, it's a pagan holiday. It's not actually one based in Christianity. And that's true. When you look into it, it's like, oh yeah, so I think it's the Romans when they conquered, they're like, well, we want people to have our religion, but they're pretty tied to their own one. What if we just change their religion to sound more like this? We don't know when Jesus died or was born or whatever. We just kind of moved it to be when there was already a holiday so that people would celebrate Christmas by accident. And that is wild. Like, I love, real life sometimes is great. Because, you know, like, movies try so hard to build drama and whatever. But, like, sometimes real life is just so much better at, like, the schisms and plans that people pull. And, yeah, that's one of my favorite ones of just like, oh, we don't really celebrate anything religious. Because most people believe it's religious in some form at least. But no, it's a non-religious holiday that just happened to end out that way. And that's kind of cool, or kind of crazy. I don't know, it's always a reminder that, like, you know, the history of anything will always reveal so much to you. There's like a commonly known history, and then there's a real history. And the two don't often have a perfect overlap. Especially not as much overlap as you might always assume. So, you know, I spoke about religion, but it's Christmas Day. We can make an exception. Again, I feel like on YouTube, there's this really interesting, so this has been on my mind so much, so I'm going to share it with you. If you would like to listen, I'd appreciate that. Because recently on YouTube, I've been doing pretty well again. Like, for the longest time, this whole year, it was just accepted that, like, okay, I've got to work out what my secondary career move is alongside YouTube. Maybe it's just a different YouTube channel. Maybe, whatever it was, I was going to have different websites. I had different plans going, so, like, what's going to be a replacement for YouTube? Because this looked like it was going to be the year that YouTube ended. And that was, or not ended, but went part-time or whatever. And, things reversed at the very end here. And it's been going really well. But one of the interesting upsides, downsides of being so heavily recommended to so many new people is a lot of people now know me, and a lot of those people don't like me. There's a lot of people who are, watch the videos, maybe they enjoy some of them, but also it's kind of cool to be hating or whatever. So, you know how I mentioned, like, oh yeah, so the Discord was pretty cool. If you actually watch my new 2019 video, I'm uploading a different version of it to fix the audio issues. It's like, the Discord community went from being like this really cool place where you could actually, interact with people who like the same sorts of videos as you, from all over the world, to being this place that just harbors hatred all the time. This happens to a lot of places sometimes where it's like, oh yeah, well, I mean, we don't need... it's really easy to, like, I guess, get a mob going is my point here. Like, it's really easy for just someone to say something that makes it sound like, that sounds close enough. Sure, I guess that must be the facts and the truth or whatever. And it's, one, it's, like, terrifying that is the case. Like, it's so easy just to, like, I guess, let's say trick people, just to convince people of some entirely wild, incorrect inaccuracies. But, it happens all the time, and it's something that's been... the Discord's been going from, like, a place where it's, like, nice and friendly to, like, everyone's trying to be, like, edgy and fun. Because, like, it seems like a good thing to be those things. But the reason I brought that up in the first place is just the fact that, like, one of the downsides of the second half of this, of the things going well, is that a lot of people now who subscribe but don't care or like or anything like that. It's like, I like the videos, but because there's just been so many bad YouTubers who have ruined, like, what's meant to be the most authentic platform has become almost like another form of TV to certain YouTubers. You know the ones. You know the ones. But that's become such a big issue that it's like, oh yeah, well, I mean, of course you don't like... They're not real people we're hating on. And I've always hated that on the internet, that there's this real problem of, like, dehumanization. Of, like, some YouTubers don't want to be people. They want to be entertainment products. They're fine with becoming meme versions of themselves as opposed to being real concepts. But I've always thought, no. The cool thing about YouTube is you get to hang out with someone. You get to do a cool thing. I could add webcam on in this video. Should we turn on some webcam? Let's turn on some webcam. Let's do it. Look at me. Oh, that's... I mean, I meant to be inside that box. I'll put me inside that box. Look at this. Face cam with Toy Cat. Merry Christmas. This is a Christmas miracle. Toy Cat gameplay and commentary with a little box in the corner too. But no, yeah, like, the thing is like, so much of it's fake, and it's like, it's fine to hate fake, right? Like, it's not a real thing that you're hating on. And I feel like this is just, like, the scariest attitude that I've seen grow and expand all the time. So yeah, if that doesn't include you, if you do just like things and want to, like, talk about and enjoy them together, and, or, like, that's something that I just wanted to, like, throw a bit of appreciation on. Because, Christmas is a time everyone's like, what do I appreciate? Or is that Thanksgiving, actually? It might be Thanksgiving, I didn't have a Thanksgiving, so here's my Thanksgiving appreciation speech. I'm just really grateful whenever I'm reminded that, like, in an age of increasing toxicity, in an age where everyone's polarized and everything's fake and everything's this, there are still some real people that, you'll see them even on videos, and you'll see my responses to them and in live streams, etc. And yeah, to this day, if you want the best way to get any amount of closeness is that. If you think the best way, some people are like, what if I start... like, trolling Toy Cat via this, via that. It's like, in what world is that going to help? Like, you, me, or really anyone. See, there's just so many things all over the world, by the way, these days. But, like, it doesn't. My point is, it doesn't help anyone. But, like, some people somehow have the belief that, like, yeah, I mean, if you troll someone, that's how you get them to like you. It's like the same thing of, like, the schoolyard, fights of, like, oh, yeah, so... if you just punch the girl, that's how you let her know that you really like her. It's like, no, that is some terrible advice right there. But yeah, it somehow spreads and becomes the main thing. So yeah, I have a pretty simple policy in my life of, like, if you like me and you're not weird. Not weird is a bad word. Like if you're like me in a normal way, then I'll probably like you too. You know, like that's I always wish like that was a more clear policy for everyone. Because some people, whether it's because they've got huge egos, whether it's because they like this whole drama thing, or whatever the reason is, a lot of people are so down with being hated. There's a panda bear over there. How do I have no pandas in my actual jungle, and then a pretend jungle has a panda over here? Do I have any bamboo left? Oh, I don't. The good news is the panda will stay here, and as long as I can find 2 pandas, I can finally breed them together and maybe get like a panda farm going. I want to see it's possible. Hey there, you wanna? It's gonna be a long walk to get a panda back to. We'll find a second panda first, because like 1 panda isn't worth going any distance for, but 2 pandas, now that's something that is worth it. It's so strange the way like any like village or biome based thing works on older worlds, especially pandas. They just seem especially rare. I get it, like oh wait, that is a second panda, I believe. Yeah, we got 2 pandas, so this video just changed because I mean I had mining fatigue for a minute anyway. We're gonna go get some bamboo, and we're gonna take some pandas all the way back to our world, and we'll breed them along the way so we can do something else, I guess. Although first, let's check the time of day. It's about midday. I shouldn't look at the sky while I'm flying. That's a bad idea. But yeah, no, I've always had a pretty basic policy, right? Of like, yeah, everyone does. Every real human. There's this funny thing where there's like, if you watch too much of any media, you start to think that's real life. Like, in movies or in TV shows, there's a character who's just rich, and it's undefined amount of wealth. It's just right for the situation. In every TV show, there's a character who's like quirky and funny, but only in the situation where it calls for. They always perfectly time their jokes. The truth is, most weird characters, people make a lot of things where it's not funny, and then every now and then it's perfect comedy. Except, in a TV show, you don't need to have weird uncomfortableness. In fact, most audiences don't like weird uncomfortable moments. So instead of that, you just kind of get the cream of the crop. I'm not sure what the word would be there, but my point here is just that you've always got to remember that like in real life, people just like it when you're a real person to them. And I've sometimes worried that the internet like removes that from us. So the system. Okay, should we wait? Oh, I guess we waited now. The system in place on certain websites is one that makes it seem like, oh yes, everyone can be funny all the time. Like looking at social media, you know how there's this. Everyone knows now, I hope at least, but Instagram, for instance, is like a perfect ideal version of someone's life. Facebook is the same. You never post when you're sad, or if you do post when you're sad, you only post when you're sad. No social media is a perfect representation of how someone's life experience actually goes. That's something we're all pretty familiar with, right? That's like basic 101 knowledge. Okay, the reason I'm saying that though is because the mistake everyone makes is thinking that like, oh yeah, but like internet comedy, that's real life all the time, right? And it's like not really. Most internet comedy is fake because that's how they get you to laugh. It can pretend to be real, and that's what it always trying to do. But I mean, like if it's like some blank phone number texting another blank phone number, do you think someone actually went through the awkwardness? Or given if it's a large publishing website, do you think that maybe, just maybe, potentially, in the wildest of dreams, that maybe an employee had a funny joke that works better if you do it with 2 real people? Because again, in TV shows, you're always aware that they're not kind of 100% real. But on the internet, you can suspend your disbelief much better. Because I think also, do pandas not care about bamboo anymore? Or is this panda broken? Is it cake I need instead? Okay, he's following me now. We're good. So getting pandas to go anywhere is going to be hard, especially across the world. Maybe I should just take them to like a separate breeding farm around here. Yeah, that might be a good idea actually. I mean, do I need pandas for anything besides a bamboo farm and or a panda farm? I mean, not really, right? So I could just start a farm around here somewhere. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. We'll get the pandas to breed and then we'll work it out. Because I still haven't got that achievement. Let's get an achievement live today. That can be my Christmas gift to myself. One of the sad things about I guess being, especially if you're I want to make sure this isn't offensive, but I don't think so. But like if you're a adult male, eventually you're expected to be the head of a household or the provider for more people. You go from being a providee to a provider. That's totally a word sentence that makes sense. And that means that it goes from being, you are a recipient of very nice gifts to you are, whether indirectly, you know, like you might get gift sport, but it's going to be of your money eventually, right? And that's an interesting thing about the process of growing up, realizing that you've got to become a real human that helps other real humans one day. Not even necessarily doing that, because that's not. I've said before, that's my goal. You know, I don't need to be in the human creation business anytime soon. Again, I don't want a human pet to do what it's called a reference, a callback. You know, I don't need any pet humans. That's all good. That seems like a weird thing to have, but it is a funny, like, that does eventually happen. Also, I guess you breed them with cakes still, or maybe they just gotta take some time to eat. They're very slow eaters. Yeah, I wish I'd done something else. Now, man, you are just. Is that not how you breed pandas? I thought it was bamboo. Maybe it's a certain amount of bamboo. Maybe I've been wrong this whole time. Maybe it's like dogs where it's a certain percent. Or do they literally just eat bamboo? If I kill the panda, do I get more bamboo now? Because they've got a lot of bamboo inside them, right? Well, okay. I guess it must be cakes to breed them still. You know, there's only one way to find this out. The most professional toy cat thing. You know, it's New Year, or it's Christmas. Give me a break. Is to just quickly check their exact breeding thing. We probably need to get the pandas into a village or something. Yeah, that'd be a smart idea. So, pandas are bred with 8 bamboo blocks and a 5-block radius off them. And then you feed them bamboo and then they mate. I mean, that's a fun way to do things, I guess. I mean, by fun, I mean not fun. I guess it's always been fine because I've always bred them inside bamboo forests. But if you find them inside something that's very much not a bamboo forest, you're going to have a bad time. Now we know. So we're going to get them up to this hill first, and then next up this hill. You know, bringing pandas around the world, it's fun, but also hilariously awful at the same time. So that's my little pro tip for you watching this video. Want to deal with pandas? I would not recommend doing so. See, I think what I'll do for now, because this is going to take literally 10 minutes to get them across the map, is we'll dig a hole around here somewhere. A nice simple hole. Everyone loves a nice simple hole. And yeah, we'll just do that. So we'll just dig 2-block hole, 2x3. You know, let's give him plenty of space, and then let's knock him in there. Oh, that just in the hole. Oh god, the pandas attack back. Okay, and then you two. They still run towards you as they. I guess he's gonna attack me still, but like. Oh man, that's rude. That's very rude. There we go. We're good. So now we put 5 bamboos in a 5-block radius or whatever. And then we feed them bamboo. And then we're golden. There we go. Now they should enter love mode. Or is it 8 bamboo? It might be 8. Let's check. Let's be absolutely sure. I mean, this is a 5-block radius. So I'll feed this one some more bamboo. And then this one gets my last bamboo, and if it doesn't do something, then you're not within a 5-block radius. And yeah, the player can feed them, and they will mate. It's 8 bamboo blocks. So the block might be different to the plant, which we have right now. So when these grow, we can chop. You know, this is terrible. You know, I don't care about this process. I don't even need pandas. Like, literally, besides getting brown pandas, because that would be rare and slightly interesting, I literally have no need for pandas. I just kind of want that achievement. Because I think, I haven't got the cat one yet, which I also should really... Yeah, you know, this is an achievement stream with Toy Cat. It's Christmas Day. Let's get some achievements. A lot of people get new devices on Christmas. Which is sad. You know, okay, so the age of console gaming. I'm still console gamer, and there's still a lot of you who are the same. But on the grand scheme of things, more people play phone games, and more people play any other type of game, right? It's just... Oh my god, I hate cats so much. People play more and more of every other type of game. That's just an accepted fact, I feel like, for you and her. Is the cat not going to follow me up here? I guess I've got a vertical distance. No, you know, this is why. I guess I'll just sleep in my living room. Sure. You know, didn't want to sleep anywhere else, cat. I wanted to sleep in the living room this whole time. Glad you understand me. But yeah, like more and more there's more and more mobile devices being played, which means that like the feel of having a new console is gonna go away. I feel like. Okay, so sit off the chest. Sit near me. Let's do this. And then in the morning, he's going to come back. Oh, that's a cute cat right there. We come back with a gift. And then the gift you get an achievement for. A rabbit's foot. I mean, actually, this is quite good for the brewing chest. And now in a few seconds' time, it's going to be like, doom. Is it a particular type of gift you have to get? It might be a particular type of gift. You know what, let's do it today anyway. Because I said I'd do it a long time ago, but it's important to get it out of the way now. So if we wanted to do that, what we would have to do is get a gift from a tamed cat in the morning. That's a tamed cat. That was a gift. So I guess the achievement just takes some time. I'm fine with that. I can wait. I'm a patient person sometimes. I say while flying around, wasting elytra, durability, and firework rockets just to save time. Yay, there we go. Look how patient I am. 0.08% of people have done that, by the way. Literally 1 in 1,200. Literally 1 in 1,200. On Xbox. I mean, and it only came out a couple of weeks ago. But still, you'd figure it'd be higher, I think. I guess you can tell me what you would figure. And we can hope it's the same as what I figure. And if it's not, then I figure there's going to be an issue. Yeah, you love that. You love that. So yeah, one of the things, since I like to discuss at least one serious issue every one of these videos, because, you know, it's Toy Cat Podcast. One of the things that comes up all the time, with every person ever, like, most people can agree on the broad strokes of this, but the exact details are kind of rough, and that's that suffering is very much an individual thing. Everyone, no matter how, there's no such thing as an absolute worst type of suffering. And if you're curious as what I mean by that, if you think about, you know, like, what's the worst situation a person can be in? But, like, it's not like they're suffering that much more than you. Just because there's, you know, like, okay, if you were born in Africa, rural Africa, your whole life, you know, you've been used to going to the well back and forth every day, that's not bad for you. That's your baseline. It might be horrific compared to you living in your, let's say you live in a mansion in southern Illinois. That's gonna describe someone watching this video. You're like, Toy Cat, what's with you? How do you know I live in a mansion in southern Illinois? That's exactly my situation. I'm just good like that. But compared to you, that would suck. But for them, that is life, you know. But the suffering is the adjustment from that baseline. So if your adjustment from your baseline is, oh no, I have to go to the store to buy water for the next 3 days while my water company improves the bills, that means I'm gonna have to shower with bottled water or whatever. So, you know, like that would be a tragic thing for you. But also, you can admit on the grand scale of tragedy it's nothing, but it still affects you and hurts just as much. Should people hold themselves to the standard of, like, relative thing? Because this is what a lot of, if you've ever had a narcissistic family member, this happens all the time where they're like, hey, I actually suffered way hard. You know, you haven't suffered. You haven't suffered like I've suffered. Which, I mean, like, might be true. I'm sure the longer you live, the more suffering you probably will go through. But it's like, that doesn't mean I'm not suffering. Just because you have gone through something worse or better, doesn't mean what I am experiencing is... It's kind of like, you know, everything should be compared on certain things. Like, if you're... I think our achievements can be compared against each other because it encourages us all to do better. But if you compare your failures against each other, or let's say your... I don't know, your bad things. If you share the worst things that have happened to you against each other and try to one-up each other, that just encourages us to be worse humans. You know, like, using competition to achieve more of something is good. If you want less of something, that's a competition is not a good thing. That's my controversial, wild opinion. And yeah, so if you've ever had someone say that to you and you believe them, like, yeah, I guess I didn't actually have to walk on my hands and knees 16 miles to the coal mine each way in the morning, so I guess my life must be great. And I'm not saying your life sucks, because your life doesn't suck. I mean, like, again, the truth is that, like, it's all about baselines, adjustments, and expectations. And I think it's quite easy to deal with a lot of those things. I think if you try to build up something huge in your head, that's not a good thing. But if you try to minimize something, that's also not so good. I think accepting the place that you have, regardless where that is, like, I think acceptance of a lot of things improves most things. Like, every single time I'm doing something high stress, it's usually, you know, I know this is, again, compared to you, this is the tiniest thing to be worried about. But I hate public speaking. Every time it happened in school, I can't describe the stress, the anxiety, the feelings of dread that would seep over me every single time I had to publicly speak. And now, as an adult, every now and then, like, I'll be booked to do some form of, some form of speaking, or even just being on a stage. I did Minecon too. I played the game on a stage. You might have seen the video. I'm in the thumbnail, funnily enough. But it was the last Minecon that was physical. I did I think I did some games of battle, and I was terrified. Even during the rehearsals, I was like, my god, my god, my god. I'm not even on the mic the whole time. I had to make like 2 witty comments, and the amount of sweat on my hands, it's intense. I'm bad at that sort of thing. But yeah, I think accepting stuff is just like, look, this is gonna be here. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be fine. You'll be a lot better. Trying to change. There's a lot of things you can try to change, but knowing that you can't change everything, and that some things can and should be accepted, whether because they're the best way or because it's just the way. This is one of my real beliefs in the world is that you shouldn't try to change everything to be like your perfect vision in your head, because everyone's perfect vision is slightly different, and the only thing we can all agree on is that what we have right now is a working system. It's a system. No matter what system we're talking about. Like, do you mean your country? Do we mean your way of life every day? But like, it works for you. The fact that you wake up every morning and go to sleep every night, at least I hope. I mean, I know a lot of people on the internet don't do that. That's something that works. Adjust it. You don't have to rewrite it from scratch. Sometimes rewriting from scratch will help if you think it's bad. But if you think things are just about okay, but you know they could be better, give it some tweaks. Starting from scratch is so terrifying because if you go back to your old routine, you feel like, oh, okay, we're back here forever. But if instead you just kind of like take a step down, I know I'm sure like someone's going to use this as an opportunity to be like, so you're really advocating for X, Y, and Z, and it's like no. I just think using the status quo as a basis is a really handy way to achieve a lot of different things. Like you need to realize that everything shouldn't start from scratch because there's a lot of things in the world. Again, I don't mean like I'm not even describing anything particular like. But there's a lot of things that are designed quite well, and realizing that is useful sometimes. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just my like personality. Maybe it's my characteristics. But yeah, improve things a little by little. Go 1% change every day, and you'll get a lot more done than if you try to start from scratch and then hold it that way. In my experience, but maybe my experience is wrong. Maybe what you think is screw this guy. I hate Toy Cat. I only watch his videos because they're recommended, and I just like trolling YouTubers that I like because they're not real humans. Because they so many YouTubers are like caricatures of themselves. But if you think that, that's fine, I guess. Like I am on YouTube. I am uploading videos. I am even making money from this, which means that technically speaking, haters do make me famous, as the famous quote goes. But at the same time, despite that being technically on a list of things that is true. Oh wait, we need to put it in here, not there. Technically on a list of things that is true. It's also a bit like, but I mean, we're still missing some points a bit there. So yeah, with that said, I hope you did all enjoy today's Minecraft update video. You can like it if you did like it, because it helps out the channel up. Let us know you did like the Christmas hangout time we did here together. Maybe you thought it was terrible. Give it a dislike. If you do need to just get hatred out there for some reason. Also, how have I messed up every single square base building in my world? This is meant to be... Oh, man. This is also not square, by the way, just for the fun fact. Like, how am I so bad at making squares in Minecraft? Can I not count to the same number? See, I'm being mean to myself now. Did you like that? Now you can change... Now hit the dislike button twice, and it's like you double dislike me disliking myself. But no, more seriously, thank you very much for watching this video. I had salt on my fingers, and now it's in my eye, and I guess I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye. Oh, that rhymes! Okay, perfect. Happy Christmas and a Merry New Year.